Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Monday with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, and welcome to another week. We are also in another sign. We are now in the sign of Gemini. Hi, everybody. We went to Gemini, I think late yesterday, into the now we will be lasting it through probably June the 20th. But we are now in the sign of Gemini. And I want to thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to have an interesting topic today that was brought to me as a result of somebody asking a question. And but first, I'm going to let you know that this week's show is sponsored by the Sisters of the Traveling Spread for the event that's coming up on August the 17th through the 20th in New Orleans. It is Nina Diamond, Aquarius Maximus, Jazz Aphrodite, my man King Simon, and myself. So please call or go to stshealing.com to get your reservation on, to get the particulars and be a part of this interesting once-in-a-lifetime event. So before I start, I want to let you know what the forecast is for today. All righty. So this is Monday, May 22nd. The sun is in Gemini. The moon is in Cancer. We are still in a 3 universal month. I got it simply by adding 2023 to the 5th calendar month. That added to 12, which makes this a 3 universal month. We are now in a 7 universal week as the week changes from the 22nd to the end of the month. And we happen to be in a 7 universal day as well. So those of you under the sign of Pisces, Aquarius, Cancer, Leo, Gemini, or if you're born on the 4th or the 7th, the 13th to 16th, the 22nd, the 25th, and the 31st, okay? There used to be at one time this saying, let me get this out the way. There used to be this saying a long time ago, a penny for your thoughts. And what happens is, as someone had brought something to mind that triggered it, well, let me bring this out again. And it's called thought reading. It's interesting that when sometimes we're under a lot of stress or sometimes we have a concern, we don't quite have the answer. The subconscious mind always knows. There's always been two sides of the mind, the conscious mind that we have now, and the subconscious mind is like a memory bank. It remembers everything. If you don't know that, play a song that you haven't heard from a long time. It'll trigger a memory with a particular person or in a particular situation or a particular event that occurred. So this is the power of the subconscious mind. Now, there have been various books, but I think one of the most classic books is by Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Well, astrologically and numerically, we can tap into that too. Now, once upon a time, that was back in India, there was a Swami named Safarao, born in 1864, died in 1929, who kind of came up with this idea. And what he did was he would tell the person to select 9 numbers. And then from those 9 numbers, you add the number 3 to it. Okay. And then he would then decipher what that means. Then there is Sidney Omar. He published a book a while ago, which I have in my collection, called Thought Dial. And he just picked simply 3 numbers. And then when he added those 3 numbers, that would tell you a lot. So I've adopted the same thing too. So in my book, Numbers in You, on page 370 to 374, I do believe, I go into the description of what that means. For example, I've had concerns or questions where a person would ask me a question and I didn't kind of have the answer, but their subconscious mind did have the answer. And what I did was simply solicit the question of a yes or no from that person by asking them a series of questions. So that's what we're going to do. On that, now there's some house rules, okay? 1, you can't put your name in more than 2 times. If I read you last week or week before, if you can give somebody else a break, then I can get to them too, because I don't want to think I'm kind of just being partial to people, but sometimes people put their name in more than once. My instructor, Jazz Aphrodite, my moderator, Jazz Aphrodite, knows upon my instructions. If you're doing it more than twice, I'm going to have to kind of bounce you from the show, today. And if I've read you lay back, let somebody else come in so I can get those people that claim I missed them. And let me clear the air. Um, I do not DM nobody. Okay. Live with Lloyd or Lloyd Strayhorn don't DM nobody. I understand there's this thing now, people kind of copying, mimicking, hacking people's information. I don't roll like that at all. So it's very simple. I will take people's birthdays, but what I want you to do is this. Let's say you have a question in mind of a yes or no nature, because what it'll happen is it can answer a yes or no nature, or it can tell you subconsciously what's going on in your mind, or subconscious what's at the back of your mind that maybe hasn't come front and center yet to the conscious. And so what I do is I asked it, those of you who want to participate, give me three single digits, not three double digits like 18, 24, 37, but one like as I was walking today and I was thinking about the subject, I says, well, 214. And when I added it up, it added to a 7. So it means something of a subconscious nature. It means a person might be born on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th, which I'm a number 7. So it's things like that. So the numbers will give you a clue as to things that's maybe been at the back of your mind. Because remember back in the day, she loves me not, he loves me not. Well, that refers to the yes or no response. So what I want you to do is any three numbers. Now, I'll tell you this. When I first started, if I did not like the answer, right, I would just say, no, I want to pick another set. Don't do that. Whatever comes to mind, that's it for now. Things change. Things are always change. Things are always in a constant flux. You know, the weather changes, environment changes, conditions changes, and so does our thought patterns too. But what I'm saying initially, just relax a second, take a couple of deep breaths, think about what the question is you have in mind, whatever it is, and give me three single digit numbers and put it in the comment section, as aside from the birthday. And I will try to interpret it as best I can. And in fact, I do have a chart that helps you understand this. So let me put up the first one. If you look, if the most for most parts, if the question comes out to a number 1, it means yes is definitely the answer to the question. If it comes out number 2, no is definitely the answer to the question. If it's number 3, yes, but not as definite as the number 1. And if it's a 4, it's not as definite as the number 2. All righty. So therefore, if you have uh, number 5, for example, then that would represent yes is the answer to the question. If you notice, all the odd numbers are normally symbolic of yes, and the even numbers are symbolic of no. Sometimes we don't want to hear the answers. I put myself through that too, where I didn't want to hear it, but that's what came from my subconscious mind. And so what it do is, as you see there, it'll tell you on the conscious level what it relates to and the subconscious level. I'll put this up later, but I will give you a demonstration. So if somebody can give me in the comment section um, three numbers that come to mind. I know I've got some birthdays. So there was one person that I missed last week, and I want to make sure I respond to them. And they want to get in their husband's birthday. So I'm going to do that right now. This is Denisha Hanson. And she says, good evening. If I have time, yes, I have time to read your husband. Let me put this on here. Okay, there she goes. All right. So now you didn't say what you want to about the question about your husband, but reading him, he's an air sign with an air number. He's 52 days before his critical cycle, which means if he's been challenged, and since he's a Gemini and Mercury's been retrograde from April the 21st through Mother's Day the 14th, and things have kind of not been going his way, things will be changing. Now that we're out of Mercury retrograde, we're kind of out of the shadow effect officially, and we are closer to his birthday. Your husband's numbers indicate he likes to be different. Sometimes he's moody. He likes to be his own best company. He likes to think outside the box. He will have secret enemies because of it, but your husband is really a genius in his own way. And when you first started dating him or dealing with him, you found that some of the frustrating part is if you wanted to go out, you had to ask, why don't we stay in? If you want to stay in, you would say, why didn't we go out? So that may have kind of frustrated you in the beginning because fours tend to do the opposite of what you asked them to initially. Not all fours, but a lot of fours do, which is why they're considered contrary, the black sheep, the rebel, whatever the case is, several names they give with it. But your husband's numbers, not by the way, are the 4, 1, and 5. And his best days are always on a Sunday, a Monday, and a Wednesday. And his best months are always in February, June, July, August, and September in that order. So it's late January, February, late April into May. No, excuse me, late May into June, July, August, and September, all back to back. In fact, he may have met you then, married you then. You conceived at that time, but normally those are his power months. All right. So see, now I got your husband. I think I read you, Denisha. So anyway, thank you very much. So let me go to the tail end. Now, don't forget, give me any 3 numbers that come to your mind, like this person here, which I thank them. Now, this person, Kahim Kersey, all right, he's born on, or they are born on, because I'm not sure, and I'm always saying she because majority of my clientels are always women. But this person, Kersey, is September the 12th, and the number they came up with is 933. So here's what you do. I took the numbers in my head. I said 9 plus 3 plus 3 equals 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. So subconsciously, if this person has a yes or no question, no would be the answer to the question. Okay. Consciously, it could be something dealing with a matter affecting the home, the family, health, adjustments, things of that nature. Subconsciously, there may be a need to be recognized or appreciated or loved in a way that sometimes is not understood. The persons that's normally they're referring to are often under the sign of Taurus or Libra, or on a date that adds up to the 6 or the 3, like this person, Kersey, that's born on the 12th. By the way, your key numbers are the 3, 6, and 5, which I think is interesting. And your best days are Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday. Yes, it's crazy because it should be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But for you, your best days are always on a Thursday first. Then you hit that Friday second. Then you bounce off Thursday third as your Wednesday third as your best day, I should say. All right. And by the way, you don't look your age too. Although right now, much older person has been sweating you, but as you get older, they become younger too. All right. So that's what I want. I want anybody to give me 3 numbers. So for example, Anika Ambori, financially free with what career path? Well, first of all, the numbers add up to a 7, 2, and 1, which is a 10 or 1. Career-wise, 1 represents medicine, law, science. It denotes one who likes to be independent. It tells me subconsciously if it's a yes or no question, yes is definitely the answer to the question that you should. Consciously, it means being about more independent, more self-reliant, stepping out more on faith. And subconsciously, in a need to kind of find who you are, develop who you are within yourself, to kind of take the lead in some things of that nature too. It means also subconsciously that it could have been a Leo, an Aquarius, or Aries somewhere in the background, or they will be born on a date such as the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of any month. Okay, so thank you very much for that. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this person put in 611. So DT, they're born on May the 4th. Okay, they had a birthday not too long ago. But anyway, these 3 numbers add up to an 8. So no is the answer to the question if it's a yes or no nature. All right. It also means subconsciously that there could be a Capricorn or an Aquarius or a Libra, or a person whose birthday adds to the single digit of an 8 or 4. And it means consciously something affecting the career, something affecting relationships, because H normally associate with finance and then romance. And then subconsciously, it means about reaching a level of maturity, reaching a level of better understanding and things of the things you need to do. So that's how I see. So now when I say these, if it's yes or no or come out, just give me some feedback. If not, I understand. All righty. Um, let's see. Let's go back to the beginning. And again, this is simply a way of tapping into the subconscious mind whenever you have moments. I rarely use it because I seem to know, because I guess I've been doing this so long. But when I have moments of doubt, I'll say, well, I says, think about the question, focus on it a second, relax, breathe, and give me any three single digit numbers that come to mind. Then there's a way of how you read it. So, for example, when a person gave me the 611, six was the basic foundation. So it tells me right there it had to do something with the family, the health, the home, relationships, and stuff like that. And then the middle number was the one, and the final number was the one, which means ultimately they need to become more independent, self reliant, especially if they are in a codependent situation at the moment. Okay. And so, because it added to an eight, it means in a way that reaches maturity and understanding in business. So, this is how I read it. Now, I mean, I read Safarow's interpretations, I read Sidney Omar's thought dial interpretation, but this is Lloyd Strayhorn. Okay. So, I hold myself responsible based upon my years of experience of doing this. And if it fits the bill, I think that's okay. So, in this case, now I have Slim, Diesel. They are born on January the 21st, which makes them an Aquarius 3 person. And so, since I was talking about the personal week, let me remind them. So, first of all, when I did this birthday, they're in a 2. Now, I'm not using a pen or paper, it's right here. They're either in a 2 or an 11 personal year. If they're 11 personal year and being an Aquarius, this is even a more dynamic situation since it doesn't come often. But right now, since it's in my head, I'm keeping it simple. They're in a 2 personal year, which is a transitional type of year relating to either relationships, relating to the home, the workspace, something like that, taking their time. So when I did their 2 personal year added to the 7th calendar month, which is May, they're in a 7-month right now, which is a month to reflect, to search within, to go within, to seek wisdom and knowledge and understanding, to understand why they're doing the things they do. But when I added the 7 to the final week of May, which covers the week of the 22nd to the end of the month, well, they happen to be an 11 personal week. So that means that this is a week to enlighten themselves as we move further into the sign of Gemini. Not only that, but Aquarius and Geminis go very well, but sometimes the number 3 and the sign of Gemini don't go. So there might be a little contradiction. But it simply means that whatever you do this week, do it with an elevated type of awareness and consciousness. Be aware that people under the signs of Cancer, Leo, and Aquarius will probably help you, or anybody whose date of birth adds up to the 2 or the 7. And it simply means, since it's the last Monday, which will be coming up this coming Monday, or somewhere around the 20th, or the 20th is past, so it means the 25th or the 29th, either the last Monday, next Monday, a week from today, or is this the last Monday? What's today? 22nd? Yeah, I think we got one more Monday to go. And also around the 25th or the 29th, that will be important because there's an art of how I develop to read the week as well. So I hope that helps you. And your lucky numbers, by the way, are the 3, 4, 1, and Thursdays and Sundays and Mondays are always your best days as well. All righty, so let's see what we got here. Now, this is interesting. This is D. Good evening. Recently started going out with this guy. I want to know if we have a lot in common. They are February the 11th, which is a master number. This person is a borderline case, not medically speaking, but they're cusping. People who cusp around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, they will tell you astrologically they're in the cusp period, which simply means they got a foot in one sign and a foot in another sign. Okay. So this person is, to me, going into the sign of Taurus. All right. As a rule, Aquarius, which is air, and Taurus, which is earth, don't mix. Air mixes more with air or fire. Earth mixes more with earth or water. However, there are always exceptions to the rule, because in this case, if I was to keep it simple, February the 11th, 1 + 1 is 2, which is water, which would go well with the earth sign. And this person is born on the 22nd, 2 + 2 is 4, which is an air number, which go with your air sign. That's how I got into numerology in the first place, trying to clear up the confusion why you two should not be together at all. And then they'll be together for centuries. Not that they live that long, but you know what I'm saying. They're more than just a day. So here's the thing I'm seeing. Both of you are master numbers, that's for sure, regardless of the zodiac signs. The master number 11 comes up with high ideas and hide great concepts and innovative and inventive, imagining things that goes into make great inventions. But the master number 22 take those ideas, those concepts and things that you come up with in the mind and make them into, transform them into some kind of form. So together, if you'll work that way, I would say yes. Your key numbers, though, are the 2, 7, 4, and 1. And this person's numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. So what do you have in common? You'll have the 4 and the 1. You'll have Sunday, and in a minor way, Monday as the best days. Okay. And Wednesday also. I would say Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, because those will be his days. And your days would be Monday and then Sunday, and then in a minor way because of the exaltation of Mercury with Uranus, or Uranus with Mercury, whatever it is. I need to get some astrologers up in here to clear the air with that, but that would explain it. So, and then let me say this: you happen to be in a 2 personal year, they happen to be in a 6 personal year, which is good for relationships. Okay. And since 2 and 6s are pregnancy cycles or pregnancy indicators, don't have to be, but they're pregnancy indicators, so it all depends on what's going on, how deep you're going to go forward with the relationship or whatever the case is. But anyway, those are your numbers. Those are his numbers. And I hope that works out for you. All righty. So now let me go to the back end. This is Tashana out of Tashana Johnson. And she is born on February the 9th. And the number she came up with is 253. So the first number she came up with was the 2, which means there's something dealing about how she should approach the partnership. If it's a yes or no question, yes is definitely the answer to the question, because 2 plus 5 plus 3 equals 10, and that's a 1. So if it's a yes, no nature, all right, it also means that consciously she wants to do something more different, more daring, more innovative, more independent. Subconsciously, maybe she feels that she needs to be more about what she's doing, be more self-reliant in that way. And she'll find again that Leos and Aquarius and Aries, or people whose dates are the 1 and 4, will be equally important as her. And as you see, she herself happens to be an Aquarius. So that's how I do that. And by the way, it tells me you get along better with the males, Tashana. Okay. It also tells me that you don't take orders well. Okay. And it also indicates your key numbers are the 9, 4, and 1. And so Tuesday followed by Sunday are always your best days without exceptions. And because you are an Aquarius with the exaltation in Uranus with Mercury, then that means that Wednesdays would be your backup days as well. All righty. And so let me see. You're in a 9 personal year. You're in a 5 personal month. You're in a 9 personal week. So this is your week to kind of get things started, to wrap things up, but also at the same time avoid arguments and confrontation. So it tells me the last Tuesday, and I think I need to look at a calendar, which I don't have right in front of me, but the last Tuesday of May, or somewhere around the 27th of the month, which will be next week, or is it this week? Today's the 22nd. Yeah, so it'll be probably the weekend or next week. I would expect some interesting things to take place for you, but avoid people who want to fuss, fight, and argue. And if you look at your birthday, look at those 9s. You got 9 and then 1999, which means you don't take orders well. And it means that you might appear to be assertive or aggressive. But anyway, that's it. Let me go back to the other end of this. And this is Khalil. All right. They are born August the 10th of 82. And the number they came up with is 4, 5, and 6. Now, these numbers add up to 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. 15, the compound number. And by the way, I want all of y'all to pick up Jackie Levine's book. I'm going to show it at the end, because what she does is she talk about the compound numbers. What do I mean? Yes, we know the numbers go from 1 to 9, but when it's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc., they have their own specific meaning in and of themselves. Well, Jackie Levine's books, Numbers Unfolded, Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded, will tell you how to do that. There's a special section. I mean, this book is awesome. This is why I bought 3 of them. But anyway, we ain't going to go there. But in your case, you're a 5 sign with a 5 number. But because you asked the question and we came out to a 6, if the question is of a yes or no nature, no is the answer to the question. But it does indicate on the conscious level something having to do with home and relationship and family, because 6 rules finance and romance. It also means subconsciously a need to maybe be appreciated by somebody that you feel is not showing you the kind of love you want, and you are Leo too, with a fire sign and a fire number. And it also indicates too that some adjustments have to be made. And if so, you have to be prepared to take your responsibilities. But since the compound 15 denotes money, gifts, and favors from others, I would keep that in mind. You happen to be in a 7 personal year, a 3 personal month, and a 7 personal week. So instead of chasing after things this week, use this last stretch to deal with the more spiritual inner side of yourself, seeking wisdom, knowledge, understanding, being more aware, and less is more. In other words, the less you say, the more you will find out. But since Leos are assertive and ones are assertive, so you got both assertiveness, it means that maybe this particular week to the end of the month, you chill a little bit and be surprised what you hear and find out, rather than just speaking and keeping yourself out of the loop. All right. So your numbers are the 1, 4, 9, and Sundays and Tuesdays are your best days. Thanks for that. All righty. That's the general reading. So let me go back on the other end. And I got to thank my moderator, Jazz Aphrodite, who makes my life a little easier. And she don't play. Okay. So don't think you're going to get in about 2 or 3 times. She don't play that stuff. You know, she says, the management says, get out the room. And by the way, I think I see some donations. I think I saw one in passing, which I will respond to. But believe me, it is the best donation you can give me is a like, because evidently my moderators, uh, Jazz Aphrodite and Empress Rel, they want to know about, are y'all like it? Steve Williams, I just saw something saying y'all push the like button. So if you can't donate, and this is not the purpose of my show, it was never my purpose in that. This is something that has just come to me. But let me see. I think I saw one in. If so, let me acknowledge it. But believe me, my goal is about, okay, maybe I didn't see it, or maybe I did see it. Okay, a lot of people are getting in. So anyway, let me start back. So that's what we're gonna do. So anyway, let me take no, this is Khalil. So I just read him, or yeah, Khalil. I would assume it's a him. And they gave me the 415, which is the birthday. And speaking of that, this is, let me see. Now, I won't be able to read double pairs, okay? I'm going to do it this time, but if you can just focus on you, because, well, I'll keep it short. Hello, can you read my sister Alicia? She's April 15th, which means she's an Aries 6 person. Her key numbers are the 6, 9, and 3. It means that Fridays and Tuesdays and Thursdays are always her best days as a rule. It also indicates, and herself, Kevin. All right, Kevin, you are a Taurus. Now, I'm looking at the king of the mountains, which is an Aries, and the king of the pastures, which is a Taurus. We're looking at strong personalities. Okay. Your numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. So what y'all have in common is the number 6. So that means you may have met on a Friday, dated on a Friday, or you may have met this person around the months of, say, May or October. But nonetheless, that's what y'all share. 6s and 2s normally get along. They're both even numbers. 6 is earth, 2 is water. So it can relate to a nurturing situation, except the 11 is composed of 2 1s, which are fire numbers. So if this person you may find is having control issues, I would say they would have problems with your sister. But your sister's pleasant, but she knows what she wants, and you are no slouch yourself, Kevin. All right. So your numbers again are the 2, 7, and 6. Your sister's numbers are the 6, 9, and 3. All righty. You'll have totally different personalities, and I wish you both the best. All right. In fact, she is in an 8 personal year, and you're in a 5 personal year. So both deals with business and commerce, but you on one way more freedom, she in one way more focus in terms of making more money, maybe getting her own stuff, whatever the case is. All right. Let me go back to the other end. I don't know this one. This one is confusing to me, so I'm just going to show you. 7, 9 Taurus, 5, 5 Cancer. I have no idea what that means, but let me tell you in my imagination and creativity using numerology. Let's say, I'm going to say Taurus represents a 6. So I would say 7, 9, and 6, which adds a 22, which is a 4. So that means that this person is trying to lay the foundation. They're trying to have great vision about doing things or dealing with things from the past. It indicates an Aquarius or a Leo or a Gemini or someone born on a date that adds up to a 4 or 1 would be significant. And as for the 5, 5, 2 Cancer, I would take the Cancer as a 2, or if it's a male, a number 7. But I'm just going to assume it's a 2 for right this point. So I would say 5, 5, 2, which would be 12, which is 3. So they're about their career. So both of you, in your own way, would be, well, this person would be more about the career than anything else. And it also indicates, since they it's 5, 5, 2, which is 3. That means a Sagittarius or a Pisces could be in the mix, or somebody whose date of birth adds up to a 3. All right, got that straight. All right, so there you got. Now I got the full birthday, but I'm going to have to go on now. I got to keep it moving. All righty. So let me do this. Let me do Terry Lynn. Terry Lynn is born June the 11th, and they would be in a 6 personal year, a 2 personal month, a 6 personal week. So this would be a good week for you to deal with something dealing with the home and family. They're born at 5:51 a.m. That means you are in the first house. Your sun is in the first house. That's the house of the personality right there. Okay, not the second, but the first house, because it's close to 6 a.m. But anyway, so that's what I'm looking at. And it means that since this is your year to adjust or make adjustment, it would be to your advantage to handle all your responsibilities. Don't shy away from your obligations. And if you're going to do something, be a person of your word. That's just that simple. All righty. So now let me back up a bit and kind of go back. See, I'm going back and forth. All this is random. All this is now. I wish now my moderators can tell you all to behave yourselves and all this stuff. Now, this person is Canon Coltrane for his brother. All right. His brother's born on March the 12th. In fact, I just got a call from a woman born on the 12th of March. And this person's birthday is a water sign, but with a fire number, which means it's kind of contradictory. In fact, it's the same day as the husband of actress Angela Bassett, Courtney Vance. His birthday is on March the 12th, too. However, so that means that your brother can be very sensitive at one hand, yet fiery and passionate at another. And when I look at it, he's in a 4 personal year, which means there's some restrictions or boundaries placed upon your brother. So if he's trying to break loose and he finds himself kind of in a holding pattern, all he's got to do is take it easy, evaluate, get himself structured, and versus focus on his needs than what he wants. He might want to do this and that, the other, but he needs to handle his business first. He also has to be careful because the compound number 12 is called the victim or the sacrifice for the plans and intrigues of others. I'm going to show you Jackie Levine's book at the end of the show so you'll get that, because she breaks down all these double numbers and what you need to know just to avoid some of those karmic indicators from some of these numbers that people have in their birthdays. All right. So it also means that your brother is very youthful looking. He's a natural flirt. He attracts women from other cultures. Okay. And he's always got something to say. Bless his soul. And because he's in a 4 personal year, he's now in a 9 personal month. And he happens to be in a 4 personal week. So that means this week he's got to toe the line and just be a little careful. But his numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. And his best days are Thursday, Friday, and Tuesday. Okay, in that order. All right. Good. So let me kind of go back a second. And to all of you, I do thank all of you very much who participate. Thanks for your patience and whatnot. Okay, I read that person. Good. I got that straight. And please, as Jazz Aphrodite says, please, y'all press the like button. For those that can make a donation, which is not my goal or objective, I ask, if not, donate by putting your finger on wherever the button is on your computer or your phone and just press the like button so I don't have to hear from my moderators. Okay? It's real simple. And I love them. But they keep a tight ship and they want to make sure my stuff is in order, like Stephen Williams and a couple other people that volunteer to keep telling you press the like button. So you don't have no excuse for people who make donations. I go to them at times and you talking about something and you don't want to even donate a like with the push of a button. You can't have it both ways. Put a little skin in the game. All righty. So now I got this. This is Oasis of Serenity. She is a Libra 7 person, September the 25th. So that means she's very laid back. She has all the psychic numbers, which are the 7, the 2, and the 6. Her best days are always on a Monday and a Friday. But when I look at her birthday, she is in a 5 personal year. And 5 is the number of sex attraction. So if a lot of people are sweating you right now, Oasis of Serenity, I would not be surprised, especially those Geminis and Virgos or people born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd of the month. But since you're in a 5 personal year, and since May is one of your months too, you have been in a 1 personal month, which means if you've been one to jumpstart, get things off the ground, be proactive about getting things out the door, out the gate, that makes sense. But then you happen to be in a 5 personal year at the same time, because now we're in the last week of May. So it tells me this Wednesday coming up, or somewhere on the 23rd, like tomorrow, because 2 plus 3 is 5, are going to be a very important day or date for you in a significant way that will bring about some meaningful changes. But you always laid back. You like to ask a lot of questions. But this year, you feel more of a sense of freedom and want to travel and want to move and breathe and not be tied down to anybody. So that would make sense. But your lucky numbers are the 7, 2, and 6. And Mondays and Fridays are your best days. All righty. So now let me go down to the other end. So I go back and forth with this. Okay, this person, Jennifer Smith, is born on April the 7th, which means they're a fire sign, but with a water number. And what that means is that they will be more proactive about things. And yet at the same time, they'll go through sometimes moods of melancholy. This is like the same birthday as Billie Holiday, the famous singer. Like Why Do the Cage Birds Sing? I think that was it. One of her songs she wrote, one of her biographies or autobiographies. I think that was it. I hope it's not Maya Angelou, but I think Maya Angelou wrote that. But anyway, I know that Billie Holiday wrote a book, but you would be a very strong, sophisticated lady, very independent, very self-reliant, but a tendency to be misunderstood. But if you take your time and do some of the things that are very important to you, and the fact that this year is a 7 year for you is significant. And so when I added you are in a 9 personal year, which means that you're now in a 5 personal month and in a 9 personal week. So this is a week to wrap it up, to wrap things up and get rid of anything or anyone that's been of drain to you. And if other Aries, which governs that, and or Scorpios or Leos or people born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th come into the mix, that would make sense too. But avoid anybody that is want to kind of get something that's kind of like out of whack. Okay. Anyway, let me go back to the other one. Somebody asked how you can get my book. It's very easy. You can go to Amazon. All my books is behind me: the orange, the green, the purple, the blue. All of those are my books. All 4 of them are available on Amazon. Just go there, order the books right away. For those that get to see me in person every now and then, I'll go out to Nicholas, Brooklyn, and a bookstore, a famous bookstore in Brooklyn, on every other Sunday or something like that. I'll bring books, then I can autograph it. But other than that, that's how you can get my book. Okay, right there. All right, so let's see. Now this is interesting. This is from Jessica Renea, and they says, what is the best month to apply for a new job? All right, so first of all, I'm going to deal with the birthday, and then it's 777. So looking at this, you are a Pisces 5 person, which is water and air. That means your key numbers are the 5, the 6, and the 3. So Wednesday rules the 5. That's your most powerful day out the bunch. Then 6 rules Friday. That's your second most powerful day. And then Thursday. So yes, it sounds kind of crazy because isn't that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Yes, it is. But in order of its importance, Friday comes first. Wednesday comes first, Friday comes second, then Thursday comes in this 3rd position. But these are the days to take advantage of things like that. Now, here's the thing. You gave out 777. Now, it has a 21, which is a 3. But notice the makeup of your numbers, all 7. So I know that deep down there's something penetrating, something you're really trying to get some answers at. And so since it adds up to a 3, it would mean yes is the answer to the question. So if is this the best month to apply for a new job? Because in fact, late May, June governs the period of Gemini. And we're now in Gemini, and it rules the number 5. So you've answered your own question with 777 and the 21. So yes is the answer to your question. However, because it adds up to a 3, it means something affecting your career, your reputation, your good name, and things of that nature. Subconsciously, you want to work on a new, improved you, increase your pride, your contacts, and things like that. And it does suggest that a Pisces, which happens to be you, or Sagittarius, or anybody whose date adds up to a 3 or 6, is likely to be important in your life. That's the whole purpose of me writing my book, Numbers in You, to help you understand yourself. And this is the section, Numerology and Thought Reading. I go into more specifics in the book right now. This is for entertainment purposes. But if you pick up my book, Numbers in You, the orange book, and it's also in my blue book too, Lloyd's Book of Numbers, a numerology guide for the 21st century. But if you pick up the book and page 370 to 374, it goes into more details about some of these things that you discussed. But at any rate, I say, Jessica, yes is the answer to your question. Is this the best month? You darn tootin', because your months are March, May, June, followed by September, October, and December. So yes is the answer to the question. I'm glad it turned out to be a yes too. All right. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. So let me go back. Let me go back. Let's see. This number here, they said, is 549. So it adds up to 18. Now, 18 is considered the power of mediumship, the ability to go in and out of the visible and invisible world. That's why I'm going to show you Jackie's book. You'll get it at the end of this program. She don't have too many books left, but I'm going to show you her new book that just came out, Numbers Unfolded. No, excuse me, Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded. Great title. I wish I'd have had that myself, like King Simon's title. But you can't think of everything. But anyway, she goes into specifics. But 18 denotes the power of mediumship to go in and out of the visible and invisible world. It represents the material side warring against the spiritual side of one's nature. It also means, therefore, that if the answer is of a yes or no nature, the answer is a yes without question. It also means that on the conscious level, there are things that you need to either wrap up, let go, manifest in some way. And subconsciously, it also means that you need to broaden your horizons, to widen your contacts and not be narrow in your outlook on life. And it also means that Aries, Scorpio, Leo, or anybody born on a date that adds up to the 9 or 6, and you could be one of those tech support. I don't know. I mean, I can't think of everything, but if you are an Aries, Scorpio, Leo, or born on a date that adds to a 9 or 3, it wouldn't surprise me. So it simply means at this point, too, stay away from anybody to the negative. Stay away from anybody that want to fuss and fight, because the 18 denotes also bitter quarrels, especially between family members. There is so much to this stuff. I mean, I make it entertaining because that's the kind of world we live in, but this stuff is very serious. I kid you not. And you should keep it in that respect. But anyway, I'll show you Jackie Levine's book at the end of the program, where you can see these double numbers and how they're broken down, which she does in a masterful way. All right. Anyway, okay, let's do this. Let me go back. Okay. Now this is K Mitch. Thanks, K Mitch. The number you gave is 678. So that adds up to 21. So it means yes is the answer to the question. If there's a question of a yes or no nature. If it's a person, it means either a Sagittarius or Pisces, or you yourself could be a Sagittarius or Pisces, or your birthday could add up to a 3 or a 6. But consciously, it means that being about a better person, that you want a better kind of environment or situation for yourself. And subconsciously, it means a desire to kind of enhance your career, to broaden your base, your contacts, and things of that nature. And also, if there have been any legal or semi-legal matters, that's likely to be resolved successfully in your favor too. So thank you very much for submitting that. And as for KS, and I thank you for doing this, because this is a test for me. And, you know, in the comment sections later on, y'all can say, no, that wasn't it. You way off base. I mean, I'm trying to learn too. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. But I've been knowing this enough to think I'm pretty much on point with this. Now, in this case, KS, of the 218, it adds up to the master number 11. Now, 1 plus 1 is 2 to keep it simple. It means that no is definitely the answer to the question if your concern of what was on your mind was of a yes or no nature. If it dealt with other factors, it means about partnerships, relationships, making a transition about where you're working, where you're living, things of that nature, maybe even a change of diet. Subconsciously, it's about maybe desire to teamwork with somebody, to take somebody along with you for the ride or problem solve this matter. And two always deals with the opposite sex. So if it's coming from a woman, it means a man. If it's coming from a man, it means a woman. That's how it goes, okay? Because those are the two genders primarily that I know of anyway. So, and it means also take your time. But the 11, see, the compound 11 is also considered, yes, it's a master number, but numerically, it denotes trials and tribulations, grief and deceptions caused by members of the opposite sex. So when you dial 911, which is 11, they certainly not calling you to come to a party or come to an event. The event is, but normally there's some drama on the other side. So it doesn't mean every 11 denotes that, but the 11 has been a master number. But if you look at the original definition, it is considered grief and deceptions caused by members of the opposite sex. So it simply means if you're in one, just be mindful, be intuitive, because two represents the intuitive side. And it means that you could be a Cancer or a Taurus, or your birthday could add up to a 2 or a 7. KS, thank you so much. This is Carletta. She says, are you putting your date of birth or the three numbers? I'd like the three numbers if possible, but if you give your birthday, that's no sin at all either, because people do that out of habit. All righty. So that'll leave that up to you, Carletta. Okay, let's see. This one is T.A. Abrams. All right. And T.A. Abrams, Tiffany, she's born February the 24th, which makes her a Pisces 6. And the number she gave was 931. Okay, now, see, I'm being very kind of like surface with it. But if I was really in the details, the first thing is the first number that came out of this person's mind was the foundation number, a 9. So that means that, like when you build something, you got to lay the cornerstone to any building or structure before it's built in its entirety. And so since the first number is a 9, it means there's something that she either wished to bring to a close or finalize to manifest in a dream form, to make it real. The second number is the third position number. That's the bridge between the first and the last one. So it means it has something to do in connections with her career, her reputation, enhancing her name or goodwill, things of that nature, expressing herself in a more way. But the final solution is a number 1, which means she's going to have to make a decision of her own. It is not about what her mother wants, her children want, her man wants, or anybody else wants. Is what Tiffany wants for Tiffany. But because the total number came out to 13-4, now 13 is called the death card. It is a picture symbol of a skeleton cutting off the heads of men and women, but it means symbolically death to an old way of thinking. And it says those who understand the 13 is given power and dominion. But since the number 4 is challenging, it could mean subconsciously there could be a concern about someone's health, or maybe even your health too, Tiffany, to a degree. It also means about being more structured and organized coming out the gate this month, because we just left the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by the number 6. And because you're in a 6 personal year, now you're going into the month of June, which means you'll be in a 4 personal month. And the total digit you gave me was a number 4. So it means 4s and 6s are somewhat challenges. Not that you can't get through it. It's just how you get through it. So like if it's raining, you got to carry an umbrella, some rain boots, raincoats in order to get out of there, so you're not as wet as if you just walked out there with no protection at all. So it means just being organized, and it does mean moving forward that an Aquarius or Leo or Gemini or somebody born on a date that adds up to a 4 or 1 will be of help to you. But there may be some resistance, since 4 is one of your stress or oppositional numbers. All righty. So I hope that helps you. Okay. Anyway, we're going to go to royal lineage, and they are born on a water sign with a water number. Okay, so that means a lot of emotions and feelings. So when they talk about the end of their feelings, well, I would expect that from somebody born on July 16th, Mary Baker Edie's birthday, who founded Christian Science. But what I'm saying is that her numbers came out to 469, which is 19. Now, the compound number 19 is called the Prince of Heaven. I'm assuming that royal lineage, I shouldn't assume anything. Well, here's the thing. If this is a man, this royal lineage, I would say it denotes the Prince of Heaven. If it's a woman who's royal lineage, I would say it's the Princess of Heaven. But the bottom line, it denotes honor, success, and esteem. And this 19 is composed of two fire numbers, the alpha and the omega, which is the 1 and the 9. And it indicates that this is a good time for you to jumpstart. If yes, or if it's, your question is a yes or no, yes is definitely the answer to your question. No question about it. It also means that a Leo or Aries or an Aquarius is likely to be in the mix, or their birthday is likely to add up to a 1 or a 4. And so this is what I'm seeing. And it tells me that you have a desire somewhere to step out on your own, step out on faith, to launch something, to go forward in what you want, not what anybody else wants in your life, your family, your friends, or children, or mates, or whoever it is. It's about looking out for number one. Then on top of that, when I did your birthday, 7/16, you happen to be in a 3 personal year coming up. Now, some of my colleagues will say you're still in a 2, but I'm going to do it my way until such time we all get around the round table, because I saw my man Brandon yesterday out in Brooklyn, and we had a discussion about that in a friendly way. And I'm going to get Jazz Aphrodite and one other person that's got this mindset about, well, you got to wait. But anyway, to me, you would be in a 3 personal year. So that means this is your year to expand, to grow, to work on a new and improved you. And you'll find along the way that Pisces and Sagittarius, or persons whose birthday adds to a 3 or 6, will be of help to you as well. If I talk fast, y'all can blame it on New York City, because that's where I'm from. So you got to keep it moving in New York City, okay? You can't be slow in New York. You got to move it, all right? So anyway, your lucky numbers, royal lineage, is 7, 2, and 6. These are all psychic numbers, and your best days are always on a Monday 1st and a Friday 2nd. But it means right now with those numbers, it means either subconsciously you need to step out on your own, or consciously, if you've been in a codependent relationship, something is about to happen that's going to force you to stand on your own. All right. So either way, only you know what the deal is. I'm just trying to interpret the numbers as I see them, but it simply means you just need to do something in a more independent fashion in terms of what do you get out of it? What does somebody else get out of it too? All righty. Okay. Let's see. This is Lady Life. Awesome. Finally caught a Monday live. Okay, good. And you caught the show too. So she didn't give a number, but she is a water sign with a air number. So that means emotional, intuitive, reasoning, logical, and deductive in her analysis of doing something. When I looked at it, she's in a 4 personal year, which matches her mom. So some of my colleagues will say she has to wait till November before her 4 kicks in, and she's technically in a 3. I'm saying right now she's in a 4 personal year, which means she's in a 9 personal month, because 4 added to the 5th calendar month, made which what remains of it, 4 plus 5 is 9. And it means that she is in a 4 personal week. So your personal week is in alignment with your birthday. So that means this is the way to end the last days of May, going out being tight, being structured. So this final Sunday coming up, or somewhere around the 28th or the 31st of the month, either those 2 dates or the last Sunday coming up this week, is going to be very significant for you to lay the foundation, lay the track work, lay the blueprint to do whatever you need to do. And sometimes in a very unexpected way, and look for an Aquarius or Leo or Gemini, or somebody born on a date that adds a 4-1 to be of help to you as well. All righty. So I'm going to read a couple of more. Then I want to wrap it up with some things I want to mention. This is Jewel Moon Nagy, and the number they gave is 374. So that adds up to 14.5. Now, 5 is considered a karmic number too. Again, yes, if I'm promoting Jackie's book, y'all need to get it. That's why, because one of the things she does that I rarely see in most books is she breaks down the compound of double numbers. And 14.5 is considered one of the karmic numbers. But 5 is always indicative of change, that you want some kind of change in your life. And if the question is of a yes or no nature, yes is the answer to the question. Not as definite, but it is definitely the answer to the question. It also means that either a Gemini, Virgo, or Aquarius, or somebody whose date of birth adds up to the single digit of a 5 or 6 is going to be meaningful. And you're ready to pivot. You're ready to make some moves. You're ready to get off center and either go left, go right, go forward, or go backward, but don't stay on point where you are right now. And it's all about seeking changes for the better, subconsciously as well as consciously. All right. So that means to see the holding on to it, to let you go at this moment. That's how you feel it. Anyway, And I could be totally wrong. But then again, you can give me some feedback and say, Lloyd, you don't know what you're talking about, or Lloyd, you're on point. It makes no difference. All of this is research anyway. Okay. This is how I got to write the book Numbers in You. Researching, testing, proving. Sometimes I'm gonna make errors. You've never found a person that's developed everything without some kind of flaw or drawback. It's whether they keep going. Even Thomas Edison, they said 10,000 times before he finally figured it out. But that was with the help of Lewis Latimer, too, a brother that they don't talk about that much. But we ain't gonna go there. All I'm saying is that who gonna do something 10,000 times? I'm not, but it shows persistence pays off. And now, no matter where you go, lights are in every part of this country except very remote regions of the world. But lights are wherever you go. All you got to do is get on an airplane, fly at night, and you see lights all over the place. 10,000 attempts. Yeah, yeah. So what I'm saying is be not afraid to make attempts when you got to. So in this case, you're ready for a change, okay? Let's see. Let me go to the other section because I'm about to wrap this up. Okay. Let's see. I hate that I missed my chance to get a reading. Carletta, I think I talked to you. No? Did I talk to the same Carletta? I'm not sure. Okay, this one is Alex. Thanks for the donation, buddy. They're born October the 2nd. This is a donation for some reason that won't come up on this. Oh, there it is. This is from Brother Alex. Thanks for the donation. Much appreciated. They are a Libra 7 person. So that means that they are in a 6 personal. No. Did I do that right? 7. Yeah, they're in a 6 personal year. My other colleagues will say they're still in the 5 until he gets his birthday in October. But I'm going to say right now he's in a 6. But what's interesting, sir, your key numbers are always the 7, 2, and 6 anyway. So whether you're in a 5 person year, which is friendly, but a 6 person year, which is even better, which tells me there's some adjustments going on in your life with makeups, breakups, children. It's also a pregnancy cycle, which means you don't have to be a father, but it could be somebody around you, or brother or sister or somebody or relative that's real cool. And they say, yo, man, you're going to be a part of this situation, be part of one of the ancestors of this child coming into the world. But also when I looked at it, though, you're in a 6 personal year. And right now, when I add 6 to May, you're in a 2 personal month. So that means there's some adjustments going on. But interestingly enough, when I add your 2 personal month to the 4th calendar week, it tells me that you're in a 6 personal week. So it means this last Friday coming up, or somewhere around the 24th, which will be 2 days from now on Wednesday, these are going to be either an important day or date for you, give or take on either side, for something important to jump off in a way that relates to money, relate to relationship, relate to finance, health, or whatever the case may be. You're very analytical. You like to be your own best company. And so that's all I can say. So to know you is to love you. And in fact, you're born in the year 1978, which is the year of 25, which is the year of the 7, which tells me one of your parents could have either been a Cancer or Pisces, or them themselves born on the 2nd to 7th, the 11th to 16th, 20th, 25th, or 29th of any month. I'm going to read one more person, and don't get upset. I can't read everybody. My moderator told me. She already put me on notice many, many times. This ain't the first time. She says, Stray, you can't read everybody. I get it. I do get it. Okay. So now let me go back to the other end of the scale. And somebody asked, what are the pregnancy numbers? The pregnancy numbers are the 2, 6, and 8. 2, 6, and 8 are more definite. 2 is like, maybe. Okay. And let me see. Thanks for the wisdom. Thank you. Been trying to catch every Monday, Carletta. No, you read my question about the institutions here. Well, Carletta, I'm doing the best I can, hon. I'm one person. And if you notice, I'm doing this all by myself. I ain't got nobody up in here with me other than me and my 2 hands. And I'm doing the best I can. And I wish I did have somebody in-house who can look all this and tell me which ones to pick and which ones I just can't do that. Anyway, I'm going to take this last one. This person is born May 14th, 1999. So this person, therefore, is in a let me see. They're in an 8 personal year. Okay, because their birthday was last week, Mother's Day. Okay, they're in an 8 personal year. So I got that straight. So when I add 8 added to the month of May, the birthday month, they're now in a 4 personal month. So when I add 4, their personal month to the 4th week, they're now in an 8 personal week, which is about making some major moves financially, reconnecting with their past, their ancestors, call it what you will, family reunions, things of that nature, getting more into prayerful moments, being more philosophical in their approach to things. It also indicates that Capricorns, Aquarians, Libyans, and those that are born on the 6th, the 8th, or 6, excuse me, the number 6 or the 8 will be very important, but it's actually the number 8 first or the number 6. It will be very important to them. And by the way, aside from that, born May 16th, your key numbers are the 5, 6, and 9, which means Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesdays are your best days. So I'll have more on Wednesday. Then I'm going to start having guests back on again. All right. But I want to take time to answer some of the questions because there's so many. And let me see something. Maybe this. Okay. This is interesting. This is Albert Hughley, and he's born at 6:32, which is 11. They're born on March the 25th, 56. His woman is born on 6:20. So I'm looking at the Aries and the Taurus. Now these are very powerful animal symbols in the animal kingdom. All righty. So that means, you might have both y'all have horns. So that means when y'all lock horns, so to speak, as they say symbolically, somebody would be a fly on the wall. You have both master number life paths. That may be true. So when I add yours up, that's 5. That could be. That could be. That could be. That could be. Anyway, and the age is 101. I'll have to figure out all this later. Right now, I do have to wrap this up. But Albert, I'll say this: from your birthday being an Aries 9, Aries 5 person, your numbers are the 5, 9, and 6. And Wednesday, Tuesday, and Fridays are your best days. Your lady, her numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. So 6 is a common number you'll share. Her best days are Mondays and Fridays. All righty. So I will say that. And after that, I just want to just wrap this up a second and tell you that the day's show, and I'll be back Wednesday, okay, on the 24th. I will be back on the 24th. But today's show is brought to you by the Sisters of the Traveling Spread. All righty. STShealing.com is the place to go to sign up to be an appearance with us in New Orleans on August the 17th through the 20th. I've never been to New Orleans. I understand it's a very spiritual place that I've yet to go. So I will find out for myself. I look forward to the experience. I look forward to you joining us there. But I'd like to thank the STS, the Sisters of the Traveling Spread, for sponsoring my show for the last couple of weeks, almost a month. I really appreciate their support too. And you support them too by going to their website, stshealing.com, to do this. A couple of announcements. One, my class is still on sale. It will be on sale till Wednesday. Notice, I think this is the lowest it's been. You can get all courses for under $35. You have no excuse at all. I never advertise the full retail because that's in a couple of hundreds, almost $300. I always get it when it's dirt cheap because the knowledge is very rich. Okay. It's like putting knowledge inside of a book. So you'll say, I ain't gonna spend no $35, and yet you'll spend $300 for a pocketbook or champagne or whatever the case is. But yet what is in these classes will last you a lifetime, that will help you guide your children, your family members, and be out in the right place at the right time. Is to learn from Lloyd series, How to Read a Person Like a Book, The Next Step in Numerology, and the do's and don'ts that were put together by Jackie Levine and myself, or Jazz Aphrodite, as you best know her. So please sign up. The sale ends on Wednesday. Now, I know we like to wait till the last minute. I know my brothers and sisters don't wait. Get your dibs in now and get it and hold on to it. You can go at your own pace. All right. Next, we run out of May, but if you still want to get your newsletter for May to find out what's going on, that is a best way. It's absolutely free. Just go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's LLOYD Strayhorn, Strayhorn. And for those of you who are rather busy and don't have time to watch the YouTube channel, but like to listen to podcasts, my Numbers and You is now on podcast. It's on Spreaker. It's on these other ones they got that I'm not, y'all are familiar with them, but all you got to do is go there or just go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, and click on, you can hear all the past shows that I've done, from Yanla to a Queen of Food to Valentine to Dr. Umar to, in fact, the whole group from the Sisters of the Traveling Spread. I think that's on there too. So listen to it. Also, I want to let you know that my Numbers and You book, the orange one behind me that you can see on the shelf, is now in an audio book form, and I encourage you to get it. If you go to my TikTok, you'll see I have snippets of my book being played. This past Sunday, yesterday, I actually did Biggie Smalls, because Notorious B.I.G. was actually born on a Sunday, May 21st. So I thought it was appropriate to play a snippet from my audiobook. So pick up a copy of the audiobook for those of you who don't want to read, but like to chill and listen in your car or at home or whatever. Do that. And I'm glad to say that by next week, we will have the Apple users available for my latest app, A Star 8. All right. But those who are on Android, you can get it now. Just go to Google Store, type in A Star 8, and you will download it into your phone and see what it is. Now, this is Jackie's book. Now, pay attention. At the top is how you get in touch with her. She don't have much books left. It's jazzaphrodite.com. It's available only there. Please pick up this book before it's gone. I bought 3 of them, okay? Seriously, real talk. I bought 3. That's how dynamic it is to give out as gifts. And the one thing I like about her book that's not seen in any other book, as I told you, is about the fact that she also breaks down the double numbers, which means the 11, 12, 13, 14. She breaks it down in a way that's in such a masterful, mystic way of expressing it. She's one of the best, I tell you this. And it's not because I know her, not because I like her. Facts is facts. That's how she is. She's just that good. So when a person's good, I'm glad my parents taught me never be afraid to give another person their props, okay? And I think that's one of the best advice among many. Other than my mother says, you watch the cars, not the lights, Junior, because the light ain't going to hit you, the cars will. That was also some good advice she told me too. Anyway, everybody, y'all have a very nice day. Thank you very much. Don't forget, pick up Jazz Aphrodite's book. Go to my website and click on, or go to astar8.com and download for all the Android users. iPhone should be this time next week. It's probably ready before this week is over, but I'm saying next week just to give it some wiggle room because of the Mercury retrograde. Also, for those of you who don't want to read, you can listen to my book. Those who don't want to hear the show, you can hear it on the podcast. All righty. And so that is it for the most part. Where am I? I'm lost all of a sudden. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining me, and you'll all have a nice day. Into the meantime, Mercury might be over, but I'm still having some. There we go. There we go. Now I got it back. There's some things I need to do with my computer that I'm learning. But everybody, I want to thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. The one thing about my show is, if you see, it is strictly organic, okay? The bells and whistles, that'll come later. But right now, I'm doing the best I can. And I think I'm doing a very good job considering how long I've been doing this too. Everybody, I do want you to have a very blessed day. And all of you, let me see this. Take good care of yourself until Wednesday.